All right, welcome back. I was at a rally on Saturday, and one of the things they asked me to talk about was getting the kids back in school. And I did recount at the rally that my own son, when I asked him, what do you think about distance learning? Do you even want to go back to school? And he said, Dad, we're actually getting dumber by sitting at home and doing this remote learning. We're not learning anything at all. And people are trying to adjust to it. The teachers' unions are crying about coming back to school. You don't know where to turn and what to do. But we do always like to highlight entrepreneurs and outside-the-box thinkers. And if you need some little tips on how you can keep up with the remote learning or adapt to it, or if you miss some stuff and you need some tutoring, you just may want to check out Hawks Tutoring. And we're joined right now by the founder of Hawks Tutoring, Gillon. Ami is 14 years old, created Hawks Tutoring to help children during the pandemic, and schools are not meeting their curriculum requirements for their grade level, so kids are falling behind. And what made a young person like you decide that you were going to go into the tutoring business at 14 years old?
Well, I decided to create my business for two main reasons. The first was I really wanted to support kids during the pandemic. And I thought that Hawks Tutoring would be a great resource for school help and for kids who want to advance their academics. And I thought that the second reason was because I always had a passion to learn ever since I was a young kid. And I love spreading my passion to other people and teaching them about what I learned. And when I found out about tutoring, it was like an aha moment. So I decided to create this business later on.
Well, it was a great idea. Now, I'm going to encourage people, if they need help, to go to Hawks Tutoring and hawkstutoring.com to check out what you're doing. But I do also like our audience to get, some education and awareness out of each day. Are there any little tips that you can tell parents who are trying to adjust to keeping their kids focused on this remote learning and stuff? Are there things that parents could know, like just to help themselves keep the kids focused on this remote stuff?
I would give the kid a little space, but I would also lay down the law and tell them that you need to focus on your learning. But I feel like if they learn the rules and understand why they're there, it helps them follow them. So I feel like if you do a combination of giving them a little space and laying down the rules and telling them you have to attend this class, you have to focus, you have to do your homework, I think that's a good way to manage them.
So give them a little room, but also every so often stick your head in there and say, you, what's going on? You're doing your work. Let me see what you did so far today. Make sure they're not sitting on their bed, playing Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
Is Fortnite you think Fortnite is one of the biggest distractions for these kids right now?
I definitely think Fortnite is really up there. A lot of my friends play it. And I have to say, I used to be addicted to video games myself until I found something else to do, this business. And I think that when you look back, you're going to think about how much time you spent on video games and then realize that you should have spent time on your homework, on your schoolwork to be better prepared.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're way beyond your years in your rational thinking when it comes to education. I wish more kids would realize, hey, this is the time I got to be learning. And when a lot of kids are going backwards, the kids that put in kind of a little extra work now can really separate themselves even more. And just a little business tip for you and for everyone watching out there on Biz TV. I always started companies from scratch and then worked real hard at growing them into something, and I've sold a couple of companies for multi-millions of dollars. But we were always the underdog, okay? And I always used to say to my team, and you might want to think about this and take it for what it's worth, but I always used to say to my team, in the summer, all of our competitors who are bigger than us, they're relaxing. They're taking Fridays off. They're going to the beach. They're missing a meeting. Oh, let's schedule that for 2 weeks. Oh, I'm going to be away that week. Let's set it for 3 weeks. So they're going backwards a little bit over the summer because they're not paying attention to us. So if we work doubly hard when they're slacking off, we actually pick up exponential growth on catching up to them because they're not doing as much. They're not even at 100% capacity utilization. And if we can go to 150, then we're actually closing that gap, sneaking up on them, and they don't even realize it. So when your enemy is resting, that's the time when you got to put your head down and work even harder. That's how you bridge that gap faster. So I think you're right on top of it in the middle of a pandemic where everybody's looking for excuses. You're starting a business, so I expect Hawks is going to be huge. And just before we let you go, you're focused mostly on 4th to 9th graders, right? Like kids from elementary up to high school. What grade are you in?
I'm a rising 10th grader, so I feel like it's easier to empathize with 4th to 9th graders because I can more easily relate to the material. And I have it more in my head because it was more recent than other tutors.
What's your average in school?
A to A plus.
How many absences did you have last year?
Probably 2.
2 absences, not bad. How many times were you late?
Once because I had to use the restroom, but nothing you can do about that.
All right. I'm kidding around with you, but you know, anytime people start asking me, hey, can you help my kid get into this school? Do you know anybody at that school? I always say, what's your grade? How many absences did you have? How many times were you late? Because that usually tells you the whole story. But A to A plus, 2 absences, 1 late. I'll take you as a tutor every day of the week. Thanks for your ingenuity and your entrepreneurship. And I wish you the best. Come back soon and let us know how things are going, will you?
Yeah, I will. Thank you so much for having me, John.
Ami, you the man. Ami Gillon from Hawks Tutoring. And you know what? You got to give the kid credit. In the middle of a pandemic, he says, let me start a business. I like it. I like it a lot.